Welcome. We're going to take a brief look at aGQA validation. aGQA validation is the process of registering a certificate to your consumer. The registration process is very important. It picks up valuable information about your customer that can be later utilized for e-marketing, 6-month service reminders, and 12-month appraisal reminders, both delivered via email, automatically, and also to qualify you for a rewards spiff if that item has a rewards promotion associated with it. The first step to the process is entering the certificate number. In the first box, we're going to enter the last 4 digits of this 12-digit certificate number. This is going to ensure that we're typing the correct certificate number in. The second number, you can either scan the barcode on the back of the certificate or enter it by hand, and then click Validate. On the validation screen, the first thing we're going to do is choose ourselves as the employee out of the employee list. This is going to ensure that we get credit for the sale, and also if there's a reward promotion with this piece, that we get the spiff. The next item that we're going to provide is the retail value. This is the price at which the piece was sold to the consumer. The second item is going to be the insured value. The insured value is the replacement price that the consumer would claim to their insurance company for coverage. Next, we have the option of adding an item. If the consumer is buying 2 products at the same time or more, we can do a multiple validation by clicking this button. This will allow us to enter additional certificate numbers and then also their retail value and their insured value. You may use this drop-down box to switch back and forth between those items if you have to verify that they're still there or to adjust their prices. The next section is the customer search. If the customer that you're working with has already purchased or had certificates registered to them, they'll show up in your retail profile, and we can search for them using this box. You can search for them by first name. You can search for them by last name, a combination of the two, or even by their email address. By selecting that person, it will load their profile information into the boxes below so you don't have to enter them ever again, but just verify that the information is still correct. In this case, this is a new consumer that's never had an aGQA registration before. The first item that we ask for is the email address. We ask for this because it bonds the consumer to their profile by the email. If the customer is unwilling to provide their email address, you may generate an email address by clicking here, but we ask you to do that as a last result. The email address that we take from the customer is never used for anything and is not available to anyone, including aGQA, except the retailer that entered the customer profile. This email address will be utilized for things as 6-month service reminders and 12-month appraisal reminders, and also with any special e-marketing campaigns that you may launch. So in this case, we're going to generate a new email address so you can see how that works. Next item we're going to enter is the customer's name, and then last name, address, city, state, zip code, country, and finally phone number. You'll notice as you enter each one of the boxes, the check marks on the left-hand side become checked themselves. If this was an existing customer, when you load their profile information, all the boxes will be checked except for the address and the phone number, so you could just quickly double check with the customer that they're still valid. Now that we have the form completely filled out, we can click Validate. During this process, it's building the consumer profile and registering the certificates for the items just purchased to this customer. Once the aGQA system has finished registering the piece to the consumer, this window will pop up. What we're looking at is the aGQA validation receipt. This document should be printed and provided to your consumer along with their certificates and welcome book. On the receipt, we're going to see the certificate number, the validation number, which the consumer will need to unlock their profile, and some basic instructions on how to access their free profile. If this receipt doesn't print automatically, you may click here to open your print dialog box, select your preferred printer, and select Print. That completes the aGQa validation process. It's quick and simple, and it also provides your retail store with valuable information about your customer that can be utilized to create an unfair competitive advantage.